Okay, so today we will going to see the system we can view as an interconnection of operations. Okay. Okay, so system viewed as a interconnecting or interconnections of operations. So that means what actually this interconnection operations. Okay, so if I have the signal input x of t, say for example, okay, then the system which is there, so this is what we call it as system. Okay, so and it will give the output y of t. Okay, so in the similar fashion, if I give the discrete time signal x of n and to the system, it will give corresponding output y of n. Okay, so either it may be a continuous time signal or it may be a discrete time signal. So this system, it having many operations which is performed on the input signal. So now how we can represent that system in terms of the what are the operations or interconnections we have to do in order to get the proper output. Okay, so say for example, a simple example, so which I have done already, the shifting operation. Say for example, I'll do shift. Okay, shifting operation by 1 unit. Say this system block, now it is representing a shifting operation by 1 unit. Now if I give x of t, so now what is your y of t? Y of t will be equal to x of t minus 1. Okay, so similar like, so if I have something like I don't know what is the unit, if I shift the signal by the unit t naught, so then what your output will give? Y of t, it will give x of t minus t naught. Okay, so now what can represent this shifting operation in terms of the operator? So this we can represent also as y of t, which is equal to s times t naught into x of t. That means this which we will call it as a shifting operation. Okay, shifting operator or shifted value, how much shifted we are doing in terms of the input signal, so that it is representing. Okay, so similar like, so we can have some equation kind of thing, how we can able to realize that also possible. And if we have a equation, how can we write the system as a interconnection of operations, that vice versa we have to do. Okay, so similar like, even you can have amplitude scaling, and even you have the this reflection, all those things it will come, but in the practical scenario, so the whatever the operations we will do on this within this system, so that can be viewed as a block diagram. Okay, say for example, so this system, what we call it as the system which we can represent either t or h. So in some textbook it will be represented as t, and some textbook it will be represented as h. Okay, so that is y of t. If you want to represent, it is a system which is represented by t, and this system whatever the operations we performed on the input signal, so that is how we can represent this signal. Okay, so now if say for example, if I have the some equation in the discrete time, so this we will call it as the difference equation, so that you will study in future. For now, for understanding the block diagram and interconnection of operations, I am taking this whatever equation. So this is given by y of n, which is equal to 1 by 3 into x of n minus 1 plus x of n plus x of n plus 1. Okay, so now I am just shifting the input signal by two shifting operation, and also I am keeping the same signal and I am multiplying by the amplitude factor 1 by 3. So, now how we can represent this signal? Okay. So, in terms of the shifting operations. Okay. So, this we can represent. So, now first we have to take a x of n. Okay. So, now we need to, how much we need to shift? I have to shift by 1 unit in the positive side and 1 unit negative side. So, now generally whatever we happen, so here whatever the signal or whatever the sign of the T naught, so it will represent this one. Okay. So, now if I have shifting of minus T naught, so then you will be having minus T naught, and if I have plus T naught, you will be having plus T naught. So, this is having now minus T naught, we will be having minus T naught. Similarly, now the T naught value it is minus 1. So, now how much we need to shift? So, we need to shift the signal by minus 1. So, actually if it is minus 1, then you have to represent it as plus, and if it is plus 1, you have to represent it as minus. Okay. So, this is the convention whatever we are going to do in the shifting operation. So, it is given by, so now 1 unit right side, that is positive side, we will represent it as S, and now so x of n plus 1, that also we have to do. So, that is S minus 1. So, if I do s power 1, you will get x of n minus 1, and if I do s power minus 1, so I will give x of n plus 1. Okay. So, now and also have to add x of n, direct signal which is x of n. So, now if I add the signal x of n directly, so then I will get the complete the output signal. Okay. So, that means if I add this one and this one and this one, whatever signal. So, now if I summate all these things, okay, and I have to multiply by the amplitude factor 1 by 3. So, then this you will get the output y of t. So, like this we can represent the system, okay, whatever the operations which we performed on the input signal. Okay. So, that operations we can represent like this as a the interconnecting operators. So, now this we can call it as a, so delay, either it is may be advanced delay or it may be so delayed, a single delayed. Okay. So, this is what the interconnection we can able to do it. So, now if we even if we give the block diagram like this, we have to generate the equation which will give the output which we will going to get. So, like this. So, this is the one of the representation we can do based on the operations whatever we performed on the input signal. Okay. So, is it understood? Any doubt? Hello?
Sir.
Okay. So, now you try to do this one. So, y of n which is given by 2 into x of n plus 1 over 4 into x of n minus 2 plus 1 by 8 into x of n minus 1. Now, try to get the interconnecting operations of this equation which is given y of n equal to 2 into x of n plus 1 by 4 into x of n minus 2 plus 1 by 8 into x of n minus 1. Try to get this. So have we done? How we can have? You can have x of n. Okay, so then you have to multiply this x of n by 2. So then, so the same x of n, whatever, you have to give it to the shifting operator. Okay, so now how many shifting operations I need? I need 2 shifting operations, because x of n minus 1 you will going to get here, and one more if I do shift operation, you will going to get x of n minus 2. Okay, so now this x of n minus 2, how much scaling factor I need to do? I need to do 1 by 4. Okay, so now x of n minus 1, how much scaling factor I need to do? I need to do scaling factor 1 by 8. So now if I add all these things, okay, so then you will get the system connection. This is your y of n. Did you get this? Hello?
Sir.
Okay, so any doubt in this? Okay, so now we'll move on to the this is a simple again a simple topic. We can understand easily how much shift operations we need and how much scaling factor we need to do and all those things. So now we'll move to the next topic, so which is important. So what are the properties of systems? Okay, so next one, coming to the properties of systems.
Sir, one more example ಮಾಡಿ sir.
Okay, so one more example. Okay, I'll take the continuous time signal. Okay, y of t, I can represent it as, so 2 into x of t plus 1 by 2 into x of t minus 2 plus 1 by 3 into x of t plus 1 and 1 by 5 into x of t plus 2. Okay, so now this is a continuous time signal. If I represent like this, how can we connect these operations and we can get the output signal? Okay, so now we have x of t. Okay, so now I need to scale it by 2. The amplitude factor, it is 2. Okay, so now the same x of t, so before scaling factor I am taking the signal x of t. Okay, so that x of t, how much shift I need to have for the second operation? So I need to have 2 shift operations. Okay, so here I will get x of t minus 1 and here I will get x of t minus 2. Okay, so now I will get x of t minus 2 here. Now the scaling factor I need to do, or amplitude scaling factor, that is 1 by 2. Okay, so now I got the second one. So now what I need, the third one, it is t plus 1, right? So take the signal x of t again. Okay, shift it by the plus 1 unit, so that you can represent it as s power minus 1, and you will get x of t plus 1 here. So now for that amplitude factor, how much? It is 1 by 3. Okay, so now similarly you have to get the x of t plus 1 and x of t plus 2. So t plus 2, what I will do, I will take x of t plus 1 here. Okay, and I will do one more shift operation, then I will scale it. So this is your x of t plus 2, right? So now what is the scaling factor I need to do here? It is 1 by 5. So now if I add all these things in the summation, I will going to get the final output y of t. Is it understand? Hello, understood?
Sir, the x of t minus 1.
Yeah, x of t minus 1, it is not there, no, here.
Sir.
So why you want to x of t minus 1? So see here, if any x of t minus 1 block is there, we can take from here and we can connect it, because we don't have x of t minus 1 here. I want x of t minus 2. After getting two shift operations, I need to scale by the factor of 2, 1 by 2, right?
Sir.
So I don't have in my expression t minus 1, right?
Sir.
So understood? Still any doubt?
ಸರ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಟಿ ಮೈನಸ್ ಟು ಹಾಗೆ ತಗೋಬೋದಾಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಪವರ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು, ಎಸ್ ಪವರ್ 2 ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್.
S power minus 2.
S power 2, if it is t minus 2, S power 2.
Sir, sir.
Okay, so just I am for understanding purpose I am doing one more shift operation. Okay, even you can directly take S power 2, and here also you can take directly S power minus 2, and you can take amplitude factor 1 by 5. Okay.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
Okay, so understood? Any doubt? Hello?
No, sir.
Okay. So now we will go to the properties of system. So now what are all the properties of system? So there are many properties.
Stability.
Yeah, so any one of the property of the system is stability, that is correct. And
Memory.
memory, yes, also memory. So we can have the linearity property, and whatever you said, memory or memoryless system. Okay, and we have whatever you said, stability, and can you tell any other thing, causal or non-causal system?
Time.
What?
Time.
Yeah, what time means, in what sense, what is time means in the sense?
Time variance.
Yeah, so time variant or it is time invariant property.
Both can be known, sir.
Yeah, both it is there. So we can say that system whether it is time invariant or time variant. But generally we should have a system which is time invariant. It should not change. Say for example, that I will explain. If I say input it is varying with respect to some time value, the output should also vary with respect to only that much amount. So then only we can able to characterize the system whether it is properly working or not. Otherwise, if the input is varying some parameter time variation, in the output it is varying some other thing, we cannot able to judge the system or characterize the system properly. So that is what we need, this property of the system. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so next one, so invertible system. Invertible system, and also so causality, linearity, so all of these are the some of the properties of the system. So now we will go and explain one by one. So what is meant by linearity? Say for example, if I have x1 of t a signal and x2 of t another signal, okay. So now if I pass this through the system, okay, if I two signals I am having, okay, I will pass these two signals through a system, okay. So now the output of this system, okay, if it is addition of these two, okay, x1 of t plus x2 of t, so then, so if I have an input signal x1 of t and x2 of t, if the output signal is the addition of these two signals, so then we can call this system possess additivity property, okay, additivity property, okay. And if I scale the factor, okay, if I and this is the additivity property, if I scale the input signal by a factor of a, the input signal x1 I will scale by a, and I will have a input signal which I will scale by b. So now if your output which produces, okay, if your output produces, so the scaling factor of this one, that is a1 into, that is x1 of t plus b1 into or b into, so a1 b1 you can take or a b you can take. So a1 into x1 of t plus b2 into x2 of t. If I get the output with the same scaling factors, so then we can call this one as the superposition, the both the properties, if it is having the system, then we will call it as superposition property, okay, superposition property.
Sir, which both properties, sir?
So additivity as well as the scaling factor, whatever the scaling which we are doing, okay. So if it satisfy both these properties, we can call this system which is having superposition property. So now
So it must satisfy the superposition property, no, sir?
yes, in order to get linearity, if I want to say the system as linear property, then it should satisfy both the properties, that is additivity property and scaling property, and which will call together, we will call it as superposition property.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So if I want to say the system is linear, then it should satisfy the superposition property. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now coming to the next one, so which is called as the memory or memoryless property. So what is meant by memoryless and memory? So if I have the input and output, say for example, okay, I'll erase this itself. So now if I have the input x of t and the corresponding, I will pass through system and I will have output y of t. So now if I have the output signal which is depend only on the present input, say for example, if this output signal only depends on the present input, if the system only depends on the present input, then we can say this system is memoryless, okay. So if the output only depends on the present input, okay, then we can call it as it is memoryless. Now if the system depends, the output of the system depends either past or future, any one of the values, if it is having, the output depends on the past or future values of input, then we can say this system having memory. Is it understood? If the output it depends only on the present input, whatever I am giving at time instant t1. So the output also it will give only at the instant time t1. So then it is called as the present input. So that present input only, if the output depends on the present input, then it will be a memoryless system. So now if I have the system output which depends on either past values or future values, then we will be call it as the system possess the memory and it is having the memory. Okay, so understood. So memory and memoryless system. Okay, so now coming to the next one, stability. So now if I want to say the system possesses the stability, then the input and output, whatever we give input and output, it should be bounded, it should not give any infinite values. So if the system it is giving an infinite values, then we can say that the system is not stable. So if I have the input signal which is BIBO stable, what is mean by BIBO? So it is bounded input and bounded output system. So now if I have the input signal, say for example input signal, I will just tell it as bounded input. Bounded input. Say for example I am having the system which is having the bounded input which is having mx and it is bounded within 0 to infinity, and if I want to say the output is also bounded output. Okay, so if I also say that output is the bounded output. Okay, so then whenever you pass this bounded input to the system and it gives the bounded output. Okay, so then the system which is having the bounded input and bounded output, so which we can call it as the system having stable or system is stable. Okay, so it should give a finite value and it should be a measurable, it should not give any infinite values. So then we will be having
finite negative or positive, sir?
So either it may be negative or positive. So it is a magnitude you can consider. Even if it is negative also, it is a measurable, right?
Okay.
So
Yes, sir.
yeah, so it should give, it should not give to, or it should not produce the
Infinite value.
Yes. So
Okay,
because we cannot characterize the infinite values, we can only characterize either positive or negative values, right?
So meaning of bounded?
Bounded means that is what it should have a finite value.
Okay.
Within the 0 and infinite value. So somewhere
Okay,
it is
sir.
having some finite value. Okay. So this should
Okay, sir.
possess for all values of t. Whatever in between you are taking the instant values time t, it should possess for all values of t. Okay. So this is what we will call it as the stability condition. Understood? Okay, so now we will go to the next one, which is the causal and non-causal systems. If I have a system which I want to say the causal system, then it should depends only on the past or present values. So if I want to say the system is causal system, so this is with respect to system, because we will going to confuse with the signal and system. Okay, so causal signal means it should possess only positive values, it should be 0 for negative values, that is a causal signal. Okay, so if I want to say the system is causal, okay, so then it should that output depends only on past or present. past or present values, and it does not depends on the future values. If the system possesses the future values, then we can say it is non-causal system. Okay, so non-causal means it depends on, the output depends on future values. So okay, so is it understood? If I want to say the system is causal, then the output depends only on past or present values of the input. Okay, and if it is non-causal, it depends on the future values of the input also. This is what the causal and non-causal system. So now if I what is meant by time invariant system? If I have the input signal x of t, okay, and the corresponding output you will going to get through the system y of t.
Does not change time.
Yeah, it should not vary with the time. Say for example, if I have the variation of t naught, if I shift the input signal by value t naught, then the corresponding output should also shift by t naught. Okay, so then we can call this system as time invariant. Otherwise, we will call it as system is varying with respect to time. So whatever I will vary here input, if it is giving some other time, so then it is time variant. So whatever input I will vary, the corresponding time variation if it is giving at the output, then we will call this system as time invariant. Okay, so then we can call this as time invariant. So now what is meant by invertible system? So this is very simple. So if I have the input x of t, and we will be having system t, and we will be having output y of t. So now if I have the if I want to say the system is invertible, it should give back the same signal whatever input which we given. That means, say for example, if I give x of t to the system t, and if I pass through the inverse of this system t inverse, okay, then your output of inverse system should be equal to same as your input. So then we can call it as t inverse is the inverse of this system t. Okay, so this is what invertible system is. So whatever input I will give to the system, and the same output, intermediate output, say for example y1 of t, if I pass through the inverse of this system, so if the output of the inverse system it is giving same signal whatever we send, then we can say the t inverse is the inverse of this system t. Okay, is it understood? Hello, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, so these are all the some of the properties of the system. So now we will do the problems based on this, so in the next class. Okay, so we will stop here and we will continue in the next class. Okay, wait, okay, I thought of taking this one. Okay, we will discuss in the next class.